Good evening. Um, I don't remember exactly how I first discovered Cartoonist Kayfabe. I don't remember what videos came up, but it was around 5 years ago. I think it was probably one of those things due to, I've talked in the past about some of the positives that happen from these algorithms where it can actually kind of turn you on to something that is genuinely interesting and, not just kind of clickbaity nonsense. So it was probably something like that where it was in my recommendations. I was a fan kind of right out of the gate of watching them. It wasn't when they first started. It wasn't the wizard stuff. It was probably 6 months into their channel ish, and I became kind of a huge fan. Obviously, you've seen me wear my kayfabe hoodie in a million live streams. Early days of Rasa and Dr. Monkeybot and myself hanging out through COVID and things. We would talk about their videos, their kind of when they started doing interviews, it was just exceptional. Some of the conversations they had with artists, I think, were kind of mind blowing. Yeah, and it was really like it became. There was a lot of things through the pandemic. In a recent video, I talked about these live streams, like music wise, that were happening during the pandemic. There was a lot of things going on during the pandemic that were incredibly hard for a lot of people. And I think there was some kind of shining moments throughout all of that stuff. Um, and I think part of kind of the positives when it comes to the internet and social media, there was some form of connection with people, even though it was virtual, even though it was in these rooms. I think that all of that stuff played an important part. And I mean, my love for those guys and the stuff that they were talking about in the show, I talked about often on the channel. I tried to kind of turn people onto the channel as much as I could. Early days, I sent them some underground comics and was thrilled to be featured in one of the mailbag episodes. Just to kind of know that I was contributing something to a couple of guys who clearly loved not only making comics, but just talking about comics and just comics in general. It was just an amazing, amazing channel. Um, Over the years, as you kind of got to know each of them and see them grow with their confidence in making the channel, it just kind of kept on reaping rewards, turning on people to these incredible books and these incredible creators. That was just amazing to see. One of the things that I really responded to early on as well was their kind of they would often just drop all of the kind of showman stuff and actually talk about what it was like working in the industry and how you could kind of take care of yourselves. And they would talk about contracts and they would talk about the business side of it that I loved hearing about. And especially at that time, being really involved with the union, there was some of these similar conversations that kind of filtered through to my everyday life when I would be talking to members. So it was this amazing bit of kind of passing on some knowledge of things they'd personally experienced when it came to just the business side of things. The art side of things is one thing, but they were always very kind of business oriented. The whole channel was as kind of a way to also bolster their persona and get their work out there. But I think that some of the lessons and some of the conversations that they had, I think were really, really important. Forget about the history of kind of the comics medium, but I think those talks of finances and how to kind of advocate is the word I'm looking for. Advocate for yourself in these things, I think were really, really crucial. Um, yeah. I'm gonna turn off the comments. I can't really read comments. Sorry. Yeah, I think that one of the things, social media, online life is difficult. I think that, like a lot of people, there's been instances in my life where suicide has been pretty close to my life. So I think that some of this triggers a lot of that stuff too. I think ultimately, I think we really have to kind of take care of ourselves when it comes to dealing with things online. I think that it's important to kind of recognize certain behaviors and in yourself and with other people, not falling into some traps like we were talking about when we first talked about the stuff that was going on with Ed out there. It's even more important right now that if you're experiencing anything, I'm begging you, please reach out to somebody. Like, I know that we have our kind of small corner of the world here in YouTube comics, but for fuck's sakes, man, like, if you need to talk to somebody, even reach out to me. Like, send me a message on social media, something, because it's horrible. Clearly, it's very upsetting. I thought I could do this video. I guess I can't. Anyway, ugh, the shortest video you'll ever see from me, I guess. It's devastating. Ed will be really missed. It's really unfortunate. Oof. Take care of yourself out there, people. And seriously, reach out to somebody, talk to somebody. There's a lot of people out there. There's a lot of resources out there for you to kind of get some help or at least have somebody to talk to. So please just talk to somebody if you have these kind of thoughts. And yeah. Okay. Later, everybody.